from adolescence to manhood. I'm also a youth mentor working here in Chicago, Illinois. Big question. That's like the question of the hour. What happened to the Black community? There's a lot of ways to answer that, and to avoid giving a history lesson and looking over the atrocities of slavery, Reconstruction, civil rights movement, and even where we are now as a culture. I'll try to just frame the question like this, or my answer to the question like this. When you think of somebody that's been through some sort of severe trauma, or been through some extreme difficulty, usually coming out of that there's effects, there's residual aspects to it. There's some sort of treatment or maybe therapy or counseling that's needed afterwards. I feel like as a whole, that is where we are as African Americans or as the Black community. I feel like we are those people that have gone through some sort of severe trauma, and sure, we're not in that immediate place anymore where the trauma is happening, but we're dealing with the after effects, and there is no therapy that was offered or given. There was no, hey, how can we work through this? How can we work through the feelings and the emotions and the residual effect of these things that's happened to your community? Is just, here, get over it, deal with it, move on. And that it doesn't work like that. In therapy, there's the phrase that hurt people. So as a community, we've been hurt, and the healing hasn't begun yet. We've attempted it, we've talked about it, we've tried it, but the healing process hasn't been done. So when you look at a lot of things, the ills and different things that affect the Black community, and you say, well, what happened to the African American community? You have to look at that. You have to look at the fact that the African American community are traumatized people, and here we are trying to piece it together from that. When it comes to the Black family, who's responsible? For me, what bears in my mind, honestly, it falls squarely on the man. It falls squarely on the leader of the family. It falls squarely on the head of the household. And if you look at it in a religious context, that was meant to be the man. If you're a person that believes in Christianity or the Bible, God placed a big responsibility on the man. We were supposed to be leaders. We're supposed to be the caregivers. We're supposed to be, the providers, the protectors, the disciplinarians. We are supposed to be the figurehead of our families. And somewhere along the line, we got off of that model. I personally believe if you look at, our families, our communities, a lot of things that's happened to us that aren't good, or that's happening now that's not good. I feel like if more fathers were in the home, if more fathers were involved in their children's life, if more fathers stood their ground and really played the role that they're supposed to play, half of the things we see in terms of drugs, violence, gangs, rape, murder, shoot, kill, whatever, I believe honestly half of that off top would just disappear, because you would have men standing in the gap. You would have men that are present. You would have men that are saying, no, I'm not allowing this in my house. No, I'm not allowing this to happen to my children. No, we're better than that, or so forth and so on. So who's responsible for the Black family? Men are. Men are. It's not the women, it's not the children, it's us. Unfortunately, a lot of women had to carry that burden as single mothers. I was raised by a single mother, so I understand what that looks like, and that's no disrespect to women, but the responsibility falls on the man, and the man, unfortunately, we've dropped the ball because of other reasons, and things that we can add to the conversation. But when you talk about responsibility, it falls squarely on us. Regardless of what has been, regardless of what we see now, there's hope for the future. This is partially why I do what I do. My burden or my passion is to work with families, to work with males, to work with young males, old males, and just work. I want to be a help. I want to be an assistance to these men, to our people. We need our men. We need our men strong. We need them in position. And we can do it. We can pull it together. We can be who we were meant to be, and we can be superheroes, man. I know you got the Marvel comics and DC comics and all the different movies out, about these different characters. But I tell you what, personally, one of my favorite characters is Batman, and the reason why is Batman is not per se a superhero. He is a regular man who cares, and he's trying to do something good for his community or a city. And that's how I envision myself, and that's how I envision a lot of us men to be. We need more Batmen in the world. We need more men that are just regular guys willing to step up and do something good for their family and be a savior to their communities, to their homes, to their jobs, to their churches and things of that nature. So in terms of responsibility, it's a great responsibility to be a man. It's a great responsibility to be a leader. It's a great responsibility to be a father. But I think it's one that we've been blessed with. It's an honor and a privilege to be a father, to be a leader, to be a man in this time and day and age. And I feel good about it. Responsibility is a huge word, and it falls squarely on the shoulders of men. We're built for it, though. We're strong. We're made that way. You know what I'm saying? Our job is to, straighten our shoulders, stiffen our back, and go at it, and, go out there and be great. And, I'm here for that. I'm here to be a help to other men and see them grow up to be the heroes that they're meant to be.